everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie, and today I am scrapping some old Polaroids of us. In 2014 we went to the Ain Zoo. It's here in the UAE, and I have loads and loads and loads of photos, and I didn't want to pick between all the photos, so I'm just going to be using all of them, and you'll see what I'm going to be doing later. For this layout I chose the Bella BLVD Zoo Crew collection, and it's really sweet. It's got a lot of prompts in it, and it's got a lot of cute papers, some very busy papers that I don't think I will be using as backgrounds, probably as backing for a cut file or something. But for this layout I chose to take that paper with all the paper strips on it, and I'm just going to be cutting all the strips out. And I'm going to be building a vertical layout, and you'll see what I'm going to be doing there. I'm just going to be sort of placing them in a, in a sort of color formation that I like, distributing the colors equally. Going to tear off the edges so that they are just a little bit smaller, and I really like the colors in this collection, and they are very fun, and they can go for boys and girls, and that's what I really like about this. And yeah, we were just a little bit about the photo. We had just arrived, or well, not just arrived, we had been in Dubai for a couple of months, and we were looking for things to do with the kids because we didn't know the place really well. So there's this really nice zoo in Al Ain. Now it's in another emirate, and it's about an hour and a bit away from us. It's inland, so it is a bit cooler than the coast where Dubai is. So we set off one day and we took the kids on a day trip to go see the zoo animals. And it's a bit of a how do I say, it's very hot, so I'm not sure how they cool down all the animals enough. The poor hippos, you could see, were suffering. But yes, it was a lovely day trip, and just it's a beautiful zoo. So what I'm doing here, after I've stuck down all of my strips, I did want to do some stitching, but my sewing machine is actually now has left us. It chose to stitch its last stitches the other day, so I couldn't stitch I couldn't stitch those strips down, but I did rough up the edges that I wanted to do in any case. And I'm just going to be placing some of the embellishments from the 12 by 12 sticker sheets, and going to just embellish away. I don't usually do pages with so much pattern on it. It is a bit much for me, but I liked it, and I liked the fact that I chose something different, and that I chose 2 photos, and that it's very busy, and it came together very quickly actually, and I really like the way it turned out. So I wanted to use some of the Doodlebug letters to spell out Al Ain, but it didn't go. So I chose the Bella BLVD alpha stickers that come with a collection pack, and I will be outlining them right at the end of the video in black, just so that they pop up a little more. And you'll see here that I'm going to be using most of the stickers on the 12 by 12 sheets, just to here and there, embellish a little bit here and there. And I'm going to be using all of those word stickers, and I wanted to bring in some more black and white, so I took one of the border strips there and I just placed it at the top, tucked it in underneath one of the other border strips that I ruffled up, adding some more blue at the bottom just to balance out those little blue strips that I stuck in over the other border strips there. So I felt that my photos needed a backing, and there's this cut apart sheets in the collection, and I'm going to be using some of those cut apart, I think they're 3 by 4s and 4 by 6, yes, and I'm just going to be cutting them up, and the ones that I knew that I wouldn't be using on other layouts, or that I wouldn't be using at all, I'm just going to be sticking behind the photos. And I like the pop of red that little cut apart gave to the top photo. the top photos of my husband and my kids, and then the bottom photos of me and my kids standing in front of the zoo logo outside of the zoo. That word zoo, the stickers there, it's from my stash. I've got no idea where I got it from. I've got no idea if it is from a collection or if it's just a sticker sheet that I have. I've been hoarding it for years, and this is the perfect layout to have that. The same with those little lion die cuts, the lion, the elephant, and the giraffe. And those are silhouette cut files, and I buy them off a lady that makes them in South Africa. And oh, she makes loads of the silhouette ones and she sells them. So those are really cute, actually. I've got loads and loads and loads of those. So I've been wanting to use them on my layouts. I've got a whole box of them. And they're very cutesy, those. So they are very specific. And, you know, for little kids' layouts, I'm not sure that I could be using them on older kids' layouts. But yes, it was perfect for this layout. So I'm just going to be outlining that word Ain just so that it stands out a bit more, because it does overlap onto the photo. That's quite busy. So I really wanted that green to pop. So this is what I usually do that you don't see, that I do off camera. I don't just take one photo of an event. I take millions, and I usually can't choose which photos to use. So I choose usually one or two that I really, really like. That's sort of my title photo. And then I do a one-page scrap with that. And then the rest of the photos, I either do pocket pages or I scrap like I'm going to be scrapping here. And I thought I would show you guys how I do lots of photos on one layout. And it's something very different to what I usually do. And I know some of you might like this and some of you might like it. And I hope it gives some of you some ideas of how to scrap those photos that you can't choose. And the thing is that I don't just want one photo of an event. I mean, especially birthdays, and so I have made, of birthdays, I'll usually have about 4 photos that I do big layouts with, that I have like one photo on a layout, and then the rest is all pocket page scrapbooking, and or like this. I mean, this isn't pocket page. This is just because I couldn't find any of my pocket pages or my page protectors that fit the large size Insta photos. There's that Instamax Fuji camera. I can't remember what's it called, but the Insta photos. So I couldn't find any of my pocket page protectors that would fit those. So I just decided to do it this way. And you know, this is basically, this isn't for a design team. This isn't to show a specific technique. This is just for me to keep with the other page that I scrapbooked, so that I can see, or whoever pages through my album can see that we had a whole day and we had loads of photos. And one day I will have a video of, or a flip through of one of my albums, and about every 3 or 4 pages I have a couple of these pocket pages, or what I'm doing here, so that I can have more photos, because I can't, it's difficult to have. I will have a million albums if I just place one photo on a page for every layout. So I try to embellish them as much as I can, and I try to make them as interesting as the pages, or my title pages as I call them. But yes, I love this, and it's usually, you've got to really look closely because the photos are usually a bit smaller. If I've got a lot of photos that I've got to print out to fit on a page, they are a bit smaller. But for instance, this, I mean, this is this is basically the size that they are. And the sad bit is I didn't write down the date. I can't remember the date we went to this. I know it was somewhere late, probably September 2014. And this is the downside of a sort of Polaroid Insta. I don't know what's that called. that instant camera, yeah, is that you can't go back and check the details of the photo and see how and when you took it and so on. So those are my that's my two layouts that's going to go in my album. As I said, usually I would just show you the title page, but I thought I'd spice things up and show you how I do the rest of the photos. And yeah, so I would like to hear your thoughts, and I would like to hear what you guys are up to, and if you're still scrapping your summer. I'm going to be adding another a video of my little layouts later on in this week to just show how we are enjoying our summer here in Dubai, our staycation. So keep an eye out for that. The next bit is coming, and yeah, so I would love to hear how you guys are enjoying your summers, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, how you're enjoying your winter and how it is, and if you're documenting your summer or your winter. So yes. Over there, you'll see that I'm just going to be doing some, you know, putting some phrases on the photos. Those are some alphas from my stash, and they're small, and I've got loads of them. So they're wonderful and very convenient to write out sentences and things like that. And that one will just say "on our way," and that's the kids with their pillows just lying on the back seat of the car and smiling because they're very excited to go to the zoo. And the second photo over there is just two of my kids. They've got a thing for maps. All of my kids actually have a thing for maps. So they decided to park right there in the middle of the pathway and open the map and see where they are going to go. And this is so cute. I mean, at that stage, the two littlies couldn't read yet, and they didn't quite know how to follow a map, but they were just looking at the pictures and they loved it. So the third photo, you'll see that I'm looking really closely. I've got no idea what they're looking at. It's probably something like a tiger or a leopard or something, because it's behind reinforced glass. And that photo that I'm writing on now, it's obviously my son's looking at a lion through the glass. And the rest of the photos the bottom three are just of my kids playing in the playground, and the other photos of my child looking at a giraffe. And those are the layouts. Bye-bye.